So we did open up, questions to folks, and there's several very detailed questions. People did not shy away from asking some really either technical or really hardball questions this time. So it might be all of us that got roasted. Do we want to start with maybe one of the written questions?
Yes, go ahead.
I was thinking something, Kit. I have prepared the overall roadmap for the
Okay.
following. I think that it's like 5 months, 6 months,
Oh,
because
cool. Yeah. No. Yeah. Let's
in
go ahead.
generative AI, while you can have like a broad vision, you still have to move really fast. So we try to uh, plan only like 5 months ago of us. So I'm going to share it in the general channel so everyone can see it, and maybe this can serve as a base for some questions that I already read, and for further questions that people can have once they start reading the roadmap. Okay.
All right. So that'll be in the general channel if folks who are listening want to, jump in and take a couple minutes to look that over.
Cool. But I think that we can start asking some questions. Meanwhile, people can start reading the roadmap. You prefer?
So I've just got my questions on the phone here. So just one moment because I have to hop channels here. 1 second. So our first question comes from previous AMA guest Jay Rinaldi. The first question is, would we consider unifying our API and web desktop APIs? So the way images are uploaded via the web can be used in programs, and users can access the same set of features on the web as API. So I guess they're basically asking if what we call internally the platform, like the internal APIs, can those also be the external APIs? Can they have feature parity?
Well, for that question, I think that Juan is the most appropriate person to answer, because I would love to say yes, but Juan doesn't think the same.
Yeah, let me check the question again, please.
The question is, would we ever consider unifying the tech behind the web version of Straico and the API that's available to the public, so that functions that are available on the web desktop app and available on the API are one and the same, so that users of the API have the same functionality as end users on the web UI?
Yeah, thank you, Kit. Okay. Yeah, our main vision is try to develop an interface with a lot of functionalities. That is the reason of platform of Straico. So our first approach always is to start with validating these functions in this scope. So I mean about platform. After uh, a successful result in the platform, our natural movement is to move to API. So in this scope, via technological approach, we prefer to divide the projects. So API and platform are completely separate, because every instance is deployed in a different server. So this is the main idea. In the future, I believe that API is going to have a lot of functionalities as well platform, but we need to validate first in our platform.
I was knowing that Jay Rinaldi is here. You are asking the question because you would like the API to be really powerful and basically for you to be able to do whatever you can do in the UI, or you have a specific reason why you ask this question? Maybe Jay Rinaldi can answer us later in the chat. But but yes, because I'm interested on understanding why.
The follow-up question does actually have a use case here. So the follow-up question, how do we feel about bots that using the web AI to automate programmatic access to Flux 1.0 Pro and the like? At the moment, we can either wait or use tools like Zero Work to recreate API calls that are made in the web UI. Do you feel that that it's not fair that and should not be done?
I don't know about that. What do you think, Jorge and Keith, about that one?
I feel like in terms of like Flux Pro, we do need access to Flux through the API. Like right now for image generation, it's just DALL-E. Like that is something that we do need to look at, consider adding, in my opinion. As someone who's like been playing around with image generation through the API lately, I do kind of miss not being able to like pick which model it uses. So that is certainly an improvement I would personally like to see.
Yeah,
Jorge, did you have any thoughts on this?
just a bit. I was sorting some support comments and questions, but yeah, I think that having a unified experience is something that we should aim for, and I expect it to be like more streamlined. So I think it's an interesting way to put it. I haven't thought it about integrating both, so I mean it's good food for thought.
Yeah, I think that I don't know, Jay Rinaldi, if you saw the roadmap, but we really aim to update our API, and of course, allowing you to create images using Flux and ideogram. It's a must for us. So I think that we are not against what you could do, like recreating the and automating the process to retrieve the Flux images. But I think that it would be much better for all if we do this via API, and this is something we are going to do.
Yes, I think that Girinaldi is a guy who with a big knowledge, a technical knowledge, and I understand your approach. Our main idea is try to have all the functionalities in the API, but if you want to try this road in your application, welcome. So as you know, we have a solid authentication structure, so you can call any endpoint. And in Straico, continuously we are monitoring all our scopes to analyze some bad traffic or something like that to avoid people who spend a lot of resources in our servers. So if you want to try, you are welcome. And probably you can give us a solid feedback about this approach.
The next question. Can you please explain the 1-year coin rollover system to me? My understanding is that the first 12 months of coins will not expire ever, and then the 13th month, so after a year, all coins not used will expire. For example, if you have 40k coins monthly and you used 30k coins, you'll have 10k coins that will expire. And then you'll get the 40k coins again on the 14th month. Is this correct?
Yes. Oh no, I'm going to explain the coin rollover policy because I know that a lot of people wants to understand it better. Because even us like say like contradictory stuff in the AppSumo questions, and it was basically because we really didn't know how we were going to handle it. And after all these campaigns, we define how we are going to handle it, and those first 12 months of coins will never expire. I know that France, for example, told us that maybe if this is again our sustainability, we should like review this. Thanks a lot, France. But from what we have analyzed so far, uh, we really want that the first year of coins do rollover and then never expire, because if people run out of the monthly coins, they will have like this piggy bank where they can use these coins. And meanwhile, the user will be like more engaged with the platform. They will be happy using the platform because they have this piggy bank, and once they run out of coins, they will be happy to buy more coins if they need. So I think that it's a good balance to keep those first 12 months without expiry date. So that's how we are going to handle it. Okay.
Thank you for answering. Our next question comes from Florian, and it is this is a long-term question. Where do you see Straico in 3, 5, and 10 years? What is your vision? And what do you see as your main? Who do you see as your main subscription customers? What kind of user profile do they have?
You want to start one, or do you want me to start that one?
Like, that's the question. The question is, where do you see Straico in 3 to 5, 3, 5, and 10 years? What is your vision? That is part one of the question.
Yeah. This is the most difficult question of all.
Yeah.
That's why I'm telling Juan to answer, please.
Okay, let me try a general idea. As you know, with Arturo, we started Straico like 14 or 15 months ago. And in this time, do you remember that the most capable model at this moment was GPT 3.5 Turbo? And right now, as you see yesterday, you can see that the evolution with O1 is incredible. So probably to have a long roadmap for the next year for Straico is difficult to guess, but the main concept that personally I have in my mind is try to advance every step according with the industry movements. So this is the scope that we have. As you see, some minutes ago, we recently published a landscape for the next 6 months. That is our plan. So probably this is our plan for the next month, and the same industry after that month, we are going to tell us who is the next step.
Yeah, complementing your answer, Juan, it's really difficult to forecast because we are still finding our unique value proposition. Because being plain honest, what we used to envision with Juan is that you could have like these AI agents that you can really customize, that you can set a rack base, a specific knowledge base as a rack base, where you can define the most optimal, the optimal rack method type for this specific agent, and that you could connect the agent via function calling with third-party apps. So as I see it, is like I would love to build my own agents, or really customizable, that you can integrate with almost every third-party app, and that you can do that by yourself without code, and that you can talk to your agent via voice note, that you can call your agent, that you can write your agent just as if you had an employee. Because from what I have seen about our community is that a lot of us are like solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, e-commerce owners, marketing agencies. I don't know, like a lot of people that works for themselves. And I think that being able to build these agents that act exactly like employees will really help us to have more time to do the things we have to do, and that we cannot because we have to be on customer support, because we have to be doing content writing. And that's like my vision, that you could trust on Straico agents just to behave like it would be like employees. But that is our vision. But once we move towards into the generative AI landscape, we know that we have to build a strong, unique selling proposition. And so far, whenever you ask someone, "Oh, what do you think about the Straico?" they always say like, "Oh, I love the side-by-side comparison. I love having everything in one place." And that's when we start thinking that maybe being the best aggregator and being the best platform where you can compare, merge, summarize, like having a strong workflow where you can play with multiple LLMs could be a really good path as well. So we are trying to do experiments on both sides, like in the agent side and the side-by-side end. And we want to start learning what users prefer the most. And if we can do like this switch from multi-LLM comparison to agent, or if we better stay there. But it's something we really have to hear because, as Juan says, the landscape is really changing. So we have to be hearing everything that is happening.
The next question is rather long, so I'm going to try to summarize parts of it because parts of it we've already covered about coin rollover. So this question comes from France. France. I apologize if I messed up your username.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. So the fact that you're offering coin rollover for a year is uncommon. This isn't something that you see with other services, but it might put Straico in a tight spot to figure out how this will work sustainably for the business. I would like to propose
Can I jump in?
Yep, go ahead.
Sorry, because Arturo already answered this question when he was going over the coin rollover. This was a proposition in the event that it had an impact on sustainability, but it seems like it's a moot point now. So in the interest of time, this can be skipped over.
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thanks for joining with your voice, Franz. Thanks a lot. If everyone wants to talk, that's fine. We would love that.
Our next question is, what are the biggest bets for increasing monthly recurring revenue, and how can users be sure that the sustainability of the product? What ideas do you have in place for this? This is part one, and I'll ask part two after this question is answered.
Oh yes, I saw that questions from the Tiger. So, well, we cannot assure users 100% about the sustainability of the project. We are trying our best, and what we are trying to do is being really scientific, I don't know how to say it, about listening, about the feedback and how the users are starting to use the platform, and if they are engaging with the platform. Rodri, Rorro, you have your mic open.
It is true that we take a very data-driven approach to making decisions and how we analyze things. That is true.
Yeah. So we are really analyzing not LTD users, because LTD users is a different audience. LTD users are AI enthusiasts. They want to learn. They have read a lot. Well, not everyone, but most of them, or they are open to learn. While recurring users, recurring revenue users, free users, they don't want to explore that much. They want the platform to tell them what model to use, how to optimize the prompt. So it's a bit difficult because the experiments that really hits the activation rate of new free users or engagement users are those experiments where we try to teach the user. For example, the smart mode has really helped us to increase the activation, because people is saying like, oh, cool, I don't have to optimize my prompt. And now that we are going to release the new LLM dialog, where you can see pros, cons, top usage, and that kind of stuff, that's the thing that we have seen that moves the needle, along with the side-by-side comparison, along with having multiple attachments. So that's why we want to double down around that, about educating users and about strengthening our side-by-side feature, allowing users to merge, to create prompt chains. And we think that's our strongest best around monthly recurring revenue. But on the side, we want to keep learning about agents, learning about the best techniques, so we can still keep innovating, just not like having a platform where you educate and you can compare, but that where we can still keep innovating in the site. So that's our approach so far.
Yes, with Arturo, we are conducting some experiments. So, for example, after the last release of the new UI, some weeks later, I check again our metrics and I see that our free user retention improved. So this is part of the experiment. So our main idea is try to launch some minor adjustments in order to catch our free user. This is our approach.
Oh, now that you mentioned that one, I was thinking about something that could be nice to talk about that right now. And it's that one of the things that we think it's hitting a lot our engagement of new users, it's how our coin system works. Because you know that when conversation gets long, the price of the conversation also gets higher. And for example, the most cheapest plan is the basic plan, which allows you to have 5,000 coins. And being honest, you can like spend all those coins like in 5 minutes. I know most of our LTD users, our heavy users, they understand how the chat works and they understand that they have to start a new chat and they understand everything because you know that we are just charging the users what we get charged by the LLM providers. However, we know that we have to have an alternative for those users. And our alternative is that we are going to, and this will answer like the question, I don't know, someone asked about this in a few minutes. Oh, Florian, regarding the interactive coin system mean. What this means is that you will be able to switch between two coin system modes. One is per words, that it is how it's working now, and the other way it's by interaction. For example, if you send a message using GPT-4o, the price will be always the same, no matter how long the conversation is. How are we going to be able to achieve this? We have been researching a little bit how ChatGPT does that, how Merlin, how other platform does that, and it's that they have like a max cap of words that can be sent as context, as in the prompt. But if the conversation is really long, you use a rack base to all those past conversations, and you can use also a summary. But there are few strategies that we wanna try because I think that it's really important for free users that they don't feel that they are spending the coins right away. It's not that good, and it's something we have to tackle. So those are the kind of experiments we are doing to increase our monthly recurring revenue, and it's all we are going to think about from the following 13 months, 14 months we have already of runway. So that's the plan.
So we did kind of already talk on conversational memory and ways to save users' coins by summarizing and using RAG, because that isn't a future question. So we've already kind of answered that. So the second part of Florin's question was, I recall seeing a lot of users saying buying in was literally a bet and that it would only be profitable if the models drop in price in the future. How do we respond to this? Are these two connected?
Okay. Our bet is that not all the LTD users are heavy users, and we have seen that. We have like around 30% of our users really use Straico each day, and around like 40% uses like weekly or monthly, and the rest of them never use it. I don't know. I really don't understand that, but we have a lot of people that have never used Straico, but they hold the LTD. I don't know if it's an investment. Thanks for that. But based on those numbers, we don't want to. For example, if a new GPT-4 of GPT-5 model comes out and the price is cheaper than the 4.0, we will price it cheaper than the 4.0, and we don't want like to take advantage of new models that are cheaper because we already did like a forecast about how the revenue we made around an LTD, in how many months we have to find a way to back up this LLM provider cost, and we are on track about that. And also because you know that the coin rollover, the 1 year coin rollover will start to decrease over the time, and we are fine. So we are fine like that, and our strategy is that we have to get around like 1,000 MRR users while we are on the first hundreds, and I think it's totally doable. So that's the plan.
Jorge, did you have anything you wanted to add or say?
Yeah, I think that as we see, we are getting even more players around. Like Amazon just released their models, and I think that's going to be a really interesting field to be in, and particularly for Straico, to be able to pick and choose whatever we like, and try to find out what works best for specific use cases. So I think it's a really interesting approach. I really like the experiments and the ideas we have regarding the pricing and the monthly revenue. There are a couple of experiments that we are particularly I'm quite excited about. So I think that we need to see how that works.
I'd like to take an opportunity here just to create a space. If anyone who is connected to the chat wants to ask a question in real time on voice, we can give room for that here. If any of you have any burning questions or have thought of anything, please feel free at this point to hop in on your mic, unmute yourself. No? No biters? Okay, next question. Do you see O1 Pro coming out with an API, and will it be very good? I guess basically they're asking, will O1 Pro come to Straico, and what our thoughts on O1 Pro are. I haven't had a chance to try it because it's locked behind a $200 subscription.
I think that the natural movement of OpenAI always is try to launch so innovative things in the web, and after that they move for the API. So in Straico, we have the compromise that always try to launch more all the most recent technologies. So if OpenAI plan to launch an API with this advanced model, always we are going to have in Straico.
Yeah, thanks. Tiago is here because once OpenAI releases via API or Open Router, Tiago has to implement it in the most possible short time he can. So yes, we're waiting for it to be released, and hopefully about the pricing, hopefully it's not that higher from O1 preview. But I saw the video that Sam Altman released yesterday with some of the guys behind O1, and it's pretty amazing, those benchmarks. O1 Pro really seems superior to traditional O1 preview and to other models. We have to test it.
So this is feedback for the roadmap we released just 20 minutes ago. I noticed that the Teams feature is missing from the roadmap. Is this still coming for lifetime deal users? And is it possible for Straico to implement voice conversations similar to what ChatGPT has for voice conversations?
Okay, around the Teams feature, yes, that's something we want to start building around March to April or even February. But being honest, we want to have first a couple of months to keep doing some experiments around free users and around monthly recurring users. We think that this is really relevant for monthly recurring users, because also it's when you have like organization or team features, it's most more probable that small companies or that organizations will use your service, and so it's kind of aligned with our goal, but we are waiting a little bit about how the other experiments result, and then we will define. But of course, we need Teams features as well. And about advanced voice mode, what we want is to launch the first agents interface where you will be able to talk with an agent, similar as you do with the chat assistant, with the difference that this agent will have a rack base or multiple rack bases, and you could interact, or you could connect the agent via an integrator such as Active Pieces with a third-party app, and you could just write to the agent in natural language, and that can happen. And once we are there, we would like to implement the advanced voice mode on top of the agents, so that you can talk in fluid, or you can talk like a real conversation with your agent. This is the plan, but we are not still sure about that, or maybe we should implement it before having the agents interface, but still not sure about the right moment to start implementing it.
Okay, everybody get ready to hum the Terminator theme for this question. When AI becomes sentient, are you going to sell out humanity, or are you going to be dodging Terminators with the rest of us?
I don't know. Keith, please tell us what you think, because I think that was one of the questions of the interview, if you remember.
Yeah, I think it was. So I love the Terminator movies. I think I'll be fighting for humanity. I might be working in AI right now, but I'm not going to work for Skynet, I think is my answer. A more serious question. Will we have a For Dummies guide on how to use RAG? And will this be something that will be updated over time?
Whoa, that's a serious question. Okay, so okay, about how to use the RAG so far. You, Keith, you did your prototype, which is pretty cool. Riley helped us to build the Postman collection with the API and with some steps. And I think that we want to include the possibility to attach racks directly into chat assistants, such as you can do with PDF, but better you doing it with rack. And I think that that can educate users on how rack works, and that will be an easier path if you understand how it works. The value of having the citations or the chunks, or where the LLM used to retrieve and to build the answer. If you learn how that does work in the chat assistant, then it will be easier for you to implement it in a workflow or in automation. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know if you want to add something.
Yes, probably in the beginning, when you analyze the documentation, is a little difficult to understand the concept of rack. So I think that probably you can ask any questions, because sometimes when you have some question related with rack, we can develop the idea in the community, and we can create so many resources that we are going to help many people. So mm, I think that our rack is right now an in stable state. So in the future, the idea is try to preserve all the content and try to give to the users the affluent experience.
I'd like to add that the short answer is yes, we definitely need to make it more layman approachable, to make it less technical. Right now, I don't think we are having it on front and center, because it's evolving quickly, and we are still working out some details and quirks on how it works and how it integrates with the API and with the website and all the app. So I think as soon as we have a more mature product in that aspect, for sure, at least I will be trying to come up with a quick guide on how to set it up without having to be way too technical.
I think that users can expect from us, when it is like public facing, when there's a UI that we've implemented that they can use, that we'll have videos, we'll have blog posts explaining to you how you're going to use reg and attach it to agents. I think we're going to come up with a lot of different material to help onboard people onto these concepts because they can be kind of quite abstract. So next question was, how do we feel about the community creating open source API wrappers and posting them to GitHub? Are we okay with this? This person was not sure if these already exist.
I would like you to check some. I saw two previous questions to that one that are difficult, but I think we should address them. The first one is the one that Jorge shared about that Urban Mouse asked. Can you expand more about merging the LLMs into a single one and how that relates to Straico's unique proposition? Okay.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip a question. Apologies there.
No worries. So about that one, I don't know if you have been playing with the side by side, but it's really cool. For example, if you are doing research, if you are doing content writing, if you are doing brainstorming, I think that having the side by side, it's really amazing and can give you really different point of views that are quite different. But sometimes you just need to merge parts from each LLM into a single answer. I have been there. Like I copy the first paragraph of one LLM and then the second paragraph of a different LLM, and then I do an additional prompt to merge parts of the answer. What we would like to do, and we are aiming to do, is that in each box of each LLM, you will be able to highlight. You will be able to highlight the part you prefer the most from each LLM, and then with a single click or a single shortcut, you will be able to merge those parts into a new answer. Or for example, if you want to highlight parts and to validate if those parts are true, if you need to do a fact research or whatever, you can also do. Or if you want to highlight difference among LLMs. And we really think that in this big generative AI race, all major players will keep like competing. They won't give up. And we even saw that Amazon just released a few LLMs back these days. So our bet is that this race will keep coming and that having our platform will be really useful. If OpenAI like dominates the market and they release AGI, I think it will be much difficult for us. But our bet is that, and I think that having a lot of tools so that you can take the most out of each LLM, it's pretty cool, and it's what people talks more about the Straico, and we should like double down on that bet. Urban Mouse asked that how he can do the merging. No, we haven't released that one. Is that we are working on it. Okay, it will be amazing. You will love that feature. Okay.
So clarification on an earlier question. So Jay Rinaldi asked about unifying the API. It was more about the upload of documents. So when you upload a document to the reg, it is not in the web UI and vice versa. And will we make it customizable so that the platform can use agents everywhere via API call and still use like the same documents?
Yes, this is right. We are in a separate scope every instance, API and platform. To be sincere, in the short roadmap, we don't have plans to merge in a one single experience, because when people use API, they try to use for more general tags, similar to generate bots or similar tools that is for the final endpoint of the user. And platform is more personal, is more for your work. So we try to divide these scopes, but in the general, in the short plan, we don't have plan to unify these scopes.
Like to add to that most of our heavy users of the API are really interested and concerned about privacy. So I think that keeping the two file databases or the two file repositories separate will help us to achieve even more that. But I sort of understand that it would be interesting to have a file manager from the RAG or the API in the web UI to have a little bit more of control. But I think having it separate it's a great start. I'm not sure if I would want to merge them, as Juan said, because are meant to work in different use cases.
So there was the question before we answered the reg merger question about creating open source wrappers that use the Straico API and releasing them on GitHub, if whether that's okay or not.
If we still had like some models priced 0 coins in the API, that would be bad. But because that is not happening, we love that people can contribute and build stuff, products, code with our API. That's more than amazing. We are really in favor of that, and we like to share what people have done so far. And yes, we love it. I think that's amazing.
Kit, there is a question related with the affiliate program. Probably you skip this question.
Oh, yes, I do see this here. Just one second here. So says, I checked the affiliate program, but I don't understand it. Is it recurring revenue for monthly subscriptions, or is it just a one-time payment for bringing a user in? I'm asking since this could be a deciding factor to make it either I start promoting or not, and I believe others may feel the same eventually.
Oh yeah, sure. No, the affiliate program refers that the 30% will be while the user have the subscription active. That means that it will be paid each month, the same 30%. We have plans so that if you have interest in being a promoter, which is really nice. We have plans to launch a special campaign around February, March, where we are going to release big features like the prompt merger and a lot of stuff. We have plans to do like a big launch and to give tools to our promoters so that they can promote better our platform. And to all those users that sign up via your referral link, we are going to offer them a special discount, but not an LTD, a special discount, and we will offer them the possibility to pay all the year monthly via quotes using some services that Stripe is launching right now. So we are planning a full strategy so that promoters can maximize their revenue. And this is a good moment. So sorry that Coding Menas is not here, that he uploads amazing videos about integrating Straico with other tools. And he's one of our best promoters. He have brought us several monthly recurring users, and also El Productivista, that he's from Chile. He also uploads video explaining Straico in Spanish. And it's pretty cool because when the promoters are inside the community, the odds of successing is much higher, and we have validated that because they understand how Straico works and how the community works, and that's cool. So I hope you join the as a promoter, and you can invite everyone you want to join as well. And we will have a big campaign around February and March.
Do we want to talk a bit about the desktop app? Because that is something we released, but we haven't really talked a lot about it, at least during this AMA.
About the desktop app?
Yeah, just because we've released it and we've got improvements coming down the line. Do we want to just touch on the desktop app a bit?
Oh yeah. We are going to do a more official launch today because I think that people have seen it in the sidebar, but we haven't officially launched it. We are going to launch it today with a few small tweaks and improvements. For example, your favorite templates will fetch from the beginning, and it won't be necessary to keep fetching them every time you open the companion mode. Small adjustments. And Then we are going to do the official launch, and then we are going to start gathering some feedback and to iterate based on that feedback. But we have really short-term plans to deploy the desktop app as well in macOS. And we are really excited about that because for a small task, not the heavy duty, you can use the desktop app and it works really fine. I have been using it like for the past week, and it's cool.
Question: can we jump ship when OpenAI releases AGI? Is it possible to sell our Straico account?
I think that if you think that OpenAI is going to release AGI, you can sell your LTD account right now in the black market of the Facebook groups. We have been people searching for diamond. So if you have a diamond, you really have a diamond there.
Well, I think the answer should be no, because we want to be really close in the matrix, like each pod together. So you should stay with us.
I'm just gonna take the red pill, if that's cool.
At least it's going to be fun.
Is adding text to speech to the API under consideration, and have we thought about adding text to video?
Yes, in our next big roadmap of API updates, that is for Q2 2025, we plan to launch TTS in the API. So be tuned for this information. And about text to video, currently our first scope is to validate this functionality in our platform. Right now, we are working in the capability for ideogram 2.0. And after that, we are moving with a image to video that Arturo recommend us that is better, that moves from text to video. It's better to move image to video. So this is the idea. After we evaluate the performance in the platform, probably we are going to consider to move in the API, but it depends of the reception, and obviously it is based on the final cost for us, because as you know, a generation of video is so expensive. So this is something that we need to review carefully in order to maintain our runway and our infrastructure system, and now and obviously our final cost.
Unless I've missed it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking about telling you that we should use these 10 minutes we have left. Maybe if people have read the roadmap, if they want to share your impressions, or if you think that's a good road to take for the following 6 months. I don't know if you want to share us if you have like the side-by-side comparison. That would be great. I would love to hear some feedback about the roadmap or anything else you want to share after answering all those questions. Hey, Franz, do you want to talk a bit about what you think about the future of Straico, if you can, of course?
Hey Arturo,
I didn't have much to say. Sorry, I didn't have much to say about the next 6 months. I mean, it seems like a good plan. As you mentioned, things change quickly, so I tend to lean more towards that flexibility. So if something changes in the next 3 months, then you can pivot, then that's great. So I don't see any red flags. Obviously, like most of us, because feature releases are quick and fast these days. You always want things to happen faster than they can, but also you want them to be done right. But I do think it's a good path to be taking as long as flexibility stays in the mix.
Thanks a lot, Franz, and I hope you keep bringing partners to the Discord so we can learn together. That's amazing.
I'll do my best as long as you don't get jealous.
I'm
Arturo,
in
I have a
therapy right now.
question. I would like to ask about something in the roadmap, especially about the um like the speed of the page. Like how are you going to plan to reduce the lag and do some smoother interactions in the UI?
Yeah, well, that was the second most common feedback from this last Black Friday campaign. First one was like, I'm running out of coins. I hate the Straico. That was the main concern. That's why we are tackling it. And the second concern was exactly that one that you are mentioning. And it's the platform sometimes looks a little bit laggy and the responses, like you get the UI like a little bit frozen. So we are right now we are researching how other platforms are doing that, and we have seen a smooth experience in for example in Merlin. To be honest, they have a really good experience, and we are starting to analyze because this will need some structure changes in the code, but we want it to be really smooth, that you like interacting with a Straico, that you can scroll up, scroll down, because right now sometimes it gets a little bit laggy. So I don't have the exact answer on the how, but we are researching that, and I think that we will be able to make it.
So we just had a question in one of the channels about video tutorials and people asking about video tutorials. So I just wanted to bring it up during the AMA that we are working on updated video tutorials, so the community knows that like we are working on resources for new users. Sorry, I know, ADHD.
You should do a giveaway with your Dreamcast shirt right now.
What am I going to give away?
Because it's cool, and I should win that giveaway. Okay, no, I think that's it, right? Wow, nice GameCube you have in there.
You have something to announce, do you not?
No, I think not. I have something to announce.
I thought you had a surprise.
No, I don't. Black Friday was a
No.
little bit madness. What I try to do is to have at least the roadmap, and we discussed a lot with Juan to have the roadmap, but no surprises. Sorry, at
No
least
surprises.
at least Juan have a secret surprise. Please, Juan.
Oh, sorry, I don't have any surprise. The
Maybe
surprise is that we are amazing. This is the big surprise.
that sounds like my uncle. We should plan a new contest because we are reaching the 2,000 members, and we are really happy, and we should plan something.
Absolutely. So, yeah, no big surprises or last minute reveals, but so many people showed up. Thank you, everyone. Like, this is like huge turnout. It's really awesome.
Yeah, thanks to everyone. Thanks for joining. And we all always answer questions, not just in the AMA. So let's keep in touch.
Yep. Thank you so much for coming out, and we'll do more of these AMAs in the future.
Yeah, it would be amazing to talk with our partners, and we can do like cross AMAs among different platforms. That would be great. Okay. Bye bye. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.